So, check this out, people. I know a lot of you guys have seen the run up on GME on Friday. GME has gone up some 60, 70%. But if you notice, it began to come down after hours. For those who bought into GME and have been holding for 2 or 3 years, you will never recover your losses. It doesn't matter how much you average down, you will never recover your losses. The only way you will recover your losses is if you sell at a profit 30, 40%, then buy the dip, and when the stock spikes again, sell at a profit and buy the dip, and continue this cycle until you get your money back. Unfortunately, buying the dip on a stock that has tanked from $400 to where it is today at $16 a share, on Friday it was at 17 and change. From $10 it's gone up relatively high, about 70%. We know that that's a great run, but unfortunately people are buying into this nonsense that there's going to be this squeeze. GME already squeezed, AMC already squeezed. There is no MOAS, there is none of this nonsense. For some reason people believe that stocks only go up and they don't come down. You've already seen how it works. You've already seen what happened to AMC. And it's funny how these GME pumpers mock these AMC investors when they themselves are in the same boat. But for some reason they believe that GME will MOAS, but AMC won't. It makes no sense to me how these idiots continue to buy into this hope nonsense, because the market doesn't care about hope, doesn't care what you believe, it doesn't care what you think. If you don't sell at a profit, you will lose your money. Most people who buy into stocks are poor. Most people who buy into stocks are middle class. Most people who believe that they're going to become rich and become millionaires in the stock market are the poor and middle class, while those who are rich know that they have to invest long term in order to get profits. And instead of thinking that you're going to invest into the market so that you can save money and earn money, you want to get into the market to become rich. And that is a bad attitude to have, because if you're not careful, you won't sell at the right time and you will lose your money. And if you do believe that GME is going to squeeze, instead of putting your life savings into the stock, instead of putting the house into the stock, how about you put a minimum amount of money that you can actually afford to lose? 500 shares of GME should be enough for you to own if you believe that GME is going to the moon. $1 million isn't enough for you. You have to put your house on it. You have to put your children's tuition on it. You have to put your life savings on it. $1 million is not enough. This is why the majority of retail investors end up losing. You believe that you know the game. You believe that you can beat the 1%ers. You believe that you can beat hedge funds and short attackers. You believe you can beat them. These people have been in the system for years. They know how the market works. They know how to play both sides. While you in turn believe GME is going up, they also believe GME is going up. They're also invested in GME. They're also shorting GME. It's called hedging. You think that hedge funds don't buy into AMC and GME both ways and cover all their bases so that if the stock spikes, they make their money and sell at a profit, then short the stock and also make money on the way down? Instead, you want to be one-sided, buy into a stock that's a meme stock that has shown through history that all it's done is tank. That's all it's done. Stocks go up and stocks go down. GME will always go up and it will always go down, just like all stocks. The problem with meme stocks is that they tend to go down more often than they go up. And so if you don't sell at 30%, at 40% or more, and then buy the dip after you've sold, and then buy the dip again after you've sold at a profit, you will never get your money, because you cannot put your hopes into a meme stock and think that you're going to get rich. That's not how the market works. Unfortunately, money makers, market makers, they know how the system works. They know how to invest. They know how to buy in and out of stocks. They know how to hedge. And you think that these YouTubers who just got here yesterday can outsmart the market makers, and you believe that what we did once before with GME, with AMC, and with Dogecoin, they're going to allow you to do again. You want to get rich? Go to work. You want to get rich in the market? Invest into stocks that pay dividends, that pay you to leave your money into them, and invest not with the hopes that you're going to get rich, but with the mindset that you're saving money for your future into an account that pays you to leave your money there. So that when you finally need that money, you have money plus interest plus a profit, so that you have extra money to spend. Instead, you want to put your money into a meme stock in hopes that you're going to get rich. And that is the worst attitude to have, because you will never sell at the right time. You will always believe in these assholes who tell you that GME is going to the moon, that AMC is going to the moon. And if you don't sell at the right time, you will lose the opportunity. You have to trade smart. You have to train yourself. You have to practice. You can't just believe the hype. You can't just believe in people who are pumping this nonsense about GME MOASing. Most people who are like me, who are telling you don't believe the hype, we're not going to get the views because we don't care. We're not going to get the revenue because we don't care. We're not going to get paid because we don't care. I don't get paid. YouTube doesn't pay me. Nobody pays me. I am just here because, just like you, I bought into the hype with AMC. I bought into the hype with Dogecoin. Luckily, I was smart enough to sell each time because I knew how the market worked. And those who held believing that their money was going to the moon have lost it all. And if you believe that a stock is going to the moon, then 100 shares, 500 shares should be enough for you to invest, so that if it doesn't go to the moon and the stock tanks, you don't lose all your money, you don't lose your life savings, you don't lose your children's tuition, and you don't lose the house. You have to trade smart. You have to invest smart. You can't be greedy just because you think that a stock is going to MOAS. Learn from previous experiences. Learn by what you've already seen in the market. Learn with what's happened with AMC, with Dogecoin, with GME. None of these stocks have gone to the moon. None of these stocks have done what they told you they were going to do, but instead they have tanked. I don't know what else to tell you people. I know that when people watch YouTube, they want to hear cheerleaders. They want to hear people tell them that GME is going to the moon, that AMC is going to the moon. That's not me. That's not how I roll. I've never believed that nonsense. I was able to get my money. I was able to buy me a car with that money. I was able to travel using that money. I was able to take that money and invest in remodeling my home and travel to the Philippines and enjoy life. And yes, I'm retired, so I have an income, but that income is just that. It is income that I cannot afford to lose, that I will not afford to lose. Better to have my money, better to keep my money than to buy into something that the odds of me winning are very slim. and keeping holding on to what I have and missing out on the opportunity. Listen, people, I sat in front of my laptop watching GME go up from $49 a share in one day to $400 a share. I sat there and watched it, and I didn't chase it. You know why I didn't chase it? Because I know that what goes up must come down. And I knew that if I chased it, I was going to lose out by buying in at the wrong time. And there's nothing worse than chasing a stock once it's had its run. Once it's had its run, it's over, people. It's not going to run again. You can't chase after something that it's already had its run. You can't believe the hype. Those who bought into GME at $10, at $11 and $12 recently, and have seen the run up that just happened on Friday, the 70% run up, the stock will tank come Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. Actually, by 10:30 a.m., you will see the stock go right back down to 15, and within a week or so, it'll go down to 13. That's how the market is played. Those who are in it, those with the big money, those who know how the market works, the hedge funds, those who know how to short a stock, those who know how to buy into a stock, those are the ones causing the run up. Those are the ones causing the stock to tank because they know when to sell, they know when to buy in. And those like you and me, everyday investors who believe that the only way to make it is to leave our money in and hope for a big run, we don't take advantage of that 30% run up. And I always tell people, once it's reached 30%, consider selling. Consider that 30% income. 30% is a lot of money. And now this 70% run up on Friday is even more money, because 70% is a lot of money to let pass. The problem with us, we get greedy. Shorters, big timers, those who buy in, those with the money, usually sell at 30%. But we get greedy. We think that stocks go up and they don't go down. Even though we've seen it through history. We've seen how AMC has gone down. We've seen how GME has gone down. We've seen how all of these stocks have tanked, including Tesla. We miss out on the opportunities to sell because we are novice investors. We refuse to train ourselves. We refuse to learn. And so we rather listen to these pumpers on YouTube who cheerlead, who want to give us hope because they believe that that's what we need is hope. The market doesn't give a fuck what you think, nor does it care what you believe, nor does it care about hope. Hope does not move the market. Money moves the market. Cream moves the market. Dollars move the market. And those who buy in know when to sell. These are the same people who short the stock. These are the same people who squeeze the stock. And when these short squeezes happen, 30%, 40%, 50%, they know when to sell. People, you got to get your money. Don't think that people like me who are here to tell you get your profits, get your money, are here to discourage you. Don't think that people like me are here to tell you, hey, don't believe the hype because I'm a shill and because I don't want you to get rich. I'm just like you. I'm just a regular guy, regular investor, telling you, watch your money, watch out for these charlatans, watch out for these scumbags on YouTube who are telling you the opposite, who are telling you, put your money into GME and leave it. Put your money into AMC and leave it. Why would anybody tell you to put your money into a stock and leave it and not sell it? Because they're going to sell behind your back. They want to encourage people like you, novice investors, to put your money in, leave it, hold, so you can bail them out, and they can in turn sell at a profit while you continue to hold. People, don't believe the hype. I feel bad for a lot of these people who bought in to GME 2 years ago, 3 years ago, who believe the hype, who continue to average down rather than selling at a profit and then buying the dip selling at 30, 40%, getting their money, and then buying the dip. And then when the stock goes up again, 30, 40, 50%, sell, and then wait for the stock to tank, and then buy in again. That is the only way you will get your money. If you continue to hold into these stocks that continue to tank, you will lose the house. It doesn't make any sense that if you believe that a stock is going to MOAS, that you will put your life savings into it. It doesn't make sense that if you believe that a stock is going to MOAS, that you would put your house into it. Because if a stock is going to MOAS, then 100 shares should be enough. 500 shares should be enough. $1 million that you make on a stock should be enough for you to sell. But instead, you want to get greedy. It's not enough that you made $1 million. You want $1 billion. You want more money that you can spend. You want to crush the 1%ers. You think that if they lose, the 1%ers, the market makers, the hedge funds, that makes you a winner. Just because they lose doesn't mean you win. And then you got these assholes like Thomas James making videos about another hedge fund losing, another hedge fund going bankrupt. I could care less about a hedge fund going bankrupt. I don't give a fuck what happens to these people. When they lose, I don't win. I only win when I get my money 30, 40, 50%. That's the only time I win. Why do these people want you to believe that when a hedge fund loses, you should be excited? Makes no sense to me. What makes sense is when I win, not when someone else's money is taken, not when someone else loses. In the end, people, you got to get your profits. You got to get your money.